and welcome in my ICT again. And this is the Google Hangout for this August edition. And this is MS Farah is going to be moderating, and I'm together with Honorable Filbert Wirinjimana, who is the member of the parliament that is representing the youth for this time of he's the one who is representing us in the parliament. And we also have Ngabonziza Benoit, who is director of youth empowerment and program coordination. And my name is Amos Fra, as I said before, and we are going to be hanging out today talking about how youth are engaged in the civic, like how is the civic engagement going in the growth of this nation. And as we are talking about this was the theme that was brought by the international community when they were celebrating the International Youth Day, which was on 12th of August, but for some reason Rwanda chooses to do that today, which is 22nd of August. And welcome in the Hangout.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Hey, greetings from my city.
And we have Huye's site, and we are just saying hi to you. Hello, can you see us?
Hi.
All right. I hope this is going to be very engaging, and I hope that you guys have some ideas to share with us as we are going along. And we are going to be just talking about many things, and I hope that you guys are ready to also participate and give ideas and challenges and ask questions. He is our representative. He's going to be answering many questions that you have to ask, and he is also engaged in a lot of youth work, and he's going to be answering some questions, and they'll be helping you to actually just make sure that ideas are really understood, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. So, to Ngabonziza Benoit, you are the Director of Youth Empowerment and Program Coordination. What have you got for youth in terms of programs that you think will help youth to actually be engaged more in this whole idea of civic engagement?
Thank you, moderator. We've got a lot. With this civic engagement, we want you guys, include ourselves, to be engaged in all activities, either social, political, economic, of the country, so that we can develop as quick as possible.
But what do you call engagement? Because if you say economical, engagement of the youth, what are you really talking about? Because it can be many things. Does that mean creating jobs? Does that mean, like, how do you get youth to be engaged? Does that mean the whole ideology and the whole perspective of the country comes back to youth doing all of these things?
Yeah, the things are being done. So when we say youth engagement, we want the clear participation in every activity that's done in the country.
What is wrong? What is wrong with the participation today? What is it that is not working that makes even the whole international community decided to say, okay, this 2015 is going to be about youth engagement, and therefore let's make this youth engagement a big deal. So why is it that people don't think that youth are really engaged?
Yeah, the theme was set by United Nations.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose of that, the issue raised, they say, in some countries, many countries, youth are not engaged politically, socially, in the activity of their countries. For us, we are the good stage, I can say. But still, we want to wake up, even those who are sleeping, they wake up, then they participate in whatever is going on in the country.
Okay, all right, Honorable. I think we know that the youth in Rwanda is more than 70% or less, a little bit more than 70%. People are actually below 35, which actually puts you in a position where you're youth, regardless, you're a young person. And you represent us. You present all of that 70% in the.
It's 40%.
40%.
Yeah.
Sorry. How do we get these people's voice understood in the parliament? How do you represent them? Like, how do you get these ideas that these people have and represent them?
Thank you. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I think as member of parliament representing young people in Rwanda, and each member of parliament has three missions. The first mission is to create law and the second mission is to represent Rwandans, to represent population, and then third mission is to be therefore is to control, to oversight the program of the government. So as young people, we have different programs. This program helps young people to develop from this point to the other point. So we have a program to enhance young people economically, socially, and even culturally. So as young people, we control the government to be how government implement these different programs, and then we meet with different young people and give us their ideas, give us their points of view regarding to the development of the country, and then we discuss these different ideas with the government, and we told to the government, we tell to the government that young people want this program, and then we focus that program, and we want the government to implement the idea of these young people of Rwanda. So the mission of member of parliament is in three missions. First is to oversight the program of the government, especially as a member of parliament representing young people. We focus on program which helps young people to develop in different areas of the life of the country. Then second, we meet the young people, and they give us their points of view regarding their development, and then we discuss to the different institutions to implement these points of view of young people.
But when you're talking about engaging youth and them having a say on these programs, we have seen that in many programs, youth are actually going very slow in terms of actually attending these programs. You have many programs, but as such a percentage of the youth, you find that it should be just more than what they should be more involved in things that are not even focusing on them, because they are bigger population of the country. So why is it that we actually don't see many youth participating in things like umuganda? You find youth are not really, like, they can be engaged sometimes, but their participation is not as much as the other people that are actually not in that area. Why is it that people are actually not engaged in some of those? Because if you're talking about civic engagement, we're meaning all of these things, umuganda, all of the details that go on in this country. So how is it that they are actually going very slow?
So when we talk about civic education, civic engagement of young people in different development activities, we want young people to be involved in different activities. As you said, the umuganda. Young people choose to have umuganda. They are special umuganda for young people. So they have one at a time. In 3 months, they have one day for umuganda, special umuganda for young people. So this special umuganda for young people came in order to ask young people to participate effectively in umuganda, because in umuganda, for all the Rwandans, we realized that young people didn't participate actively in umuganda because they want they want their own activities. They want to meet together. They want to discuss their own issues. There is no why they choose to have one special umuganda for the young people.
But isn't the population of the country, and maybe I can ask this Benoit, who is program coordinator as well. Benoit, you think that do youth actually really need to have separate programs that are not really focusing other group of people? Like, do we have to have just things for, like, umuganda for youth, and then anything else for youth, and then this is for youth. Does it have to be like that?
Normally, it could not be separated. Like dad and son, father and kids, you should be together. But there are some tasks that are particular for kids and particular for.
This is not the national. You work with the National Youth Council.
The nation.
You don't work with the National Children's Council. This is their kids. But when we're talking about 14 and 35, we understand that there's a lot of things that a person who is 30 can do.
Yeah.
And this is the youth that we're talking about.
Yeah, that's
so why do we need to have more than just, like, why can't we just have one program that is going to be focusing on all the people, and youth then come in, and then they participate more than anybody because they have a bigger number.
Yeah, let's take this case of Muganda.
Mm-hmm.
Youth, they have their special Muganda.
Okay.
But this doesn't exclude that they won't participate in the normal Muganda, the one well known, the one that comes at the end of each month.
Okay.
They participate. But remember, they are the ones who are physically stronger than others.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they must have this special one for them.
So
we need to contribute more because we are very strong. That was for this case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For other cases, depending on the case, we have the way we have to contribute. Going with others, but with this case like that, which is in different countries, we don't want this to appear to happen in the country. We want that we can all go together, but because there are some specific tasks that are particular for a different or certain age, that's why they have to participate stronger than others. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we are still there, but if you're there, have you got some questions for these people so that they can actually be able to also answer some questions? Because they're telling us that we have to focus on, we have to do some focused work for youth because they've got more energy, and that is applying in Uganda, and it's happening every 3 months. Is that something that you want to do, or do we want to work together with our parents and develop this nation all together? I don't know if you're getting me. I don't know if you're there. If you are, please let me know if you have got a question regarding that specific question. Hello?
You can repeat. You can repeat and understand.
The question is, like, we have programs that are really focusing on youth, and we are wondering the other programs that are generally for the whole population, why does it have to have one that has youth and the others that actually focus on every population? Like Umuganda. We have Umuganda every month, every Saturday of the month, but also have Umuganda for youth, which is a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a wonderful thing. But why can't we do it every Saturday? Because I think that takes away energy from the Umuganda of every Saturday. And then they end up using that energy in different things. But why can't we do it all together at one time?
So I can say that in Huye, youth also participate in the Umuganda program, but when you look, it is not all people, all youth cannot participate, but some of them participate. But we have our special day, one of 3 months. One day in 3 months we have youth program of Muganda. In there we participate in all activity planned by Umudenge and the district. We participate.
I understand, but why can't we just do it like one? Like, why do we have to have one for youth, and why do we have to have one for everybody else? That is the question that maybe Honorable would help us to discuss that.
Thank you for this question. For me, young people are socially and culturally different from their parents. So socially and culturally, young people need their special moments to discuss about their own problems. So when they they meet their parents or their elders to the umuganda, they don't have their special moment for discussing on their issues. So the reason why they choose to have one special umuganda for them, in order, after doing this umuganda, they discuss on their own issues, they discuss on their own problems, and they find, after umuganda, they find their own solutions, and I think after umuganda, they have their leaders, and they tell to their leaders and tell them, go to the different councils at the district level, at sector level, at the parliament, go to this institution in which you represent us, and tell them this. The reason why, even if there is a umuganda for all the people, even the young people participate in this umuganda, but they need the speciality. But they need their speciality in doing this umuganda because they have their own problems different from the problem of others, of adults.
So does that mean then, and if this is true,
Yeah.
so then why, like, does that mean then that this other Saturday, every Saturday, is going to be exclusively for the older generation or the parents?
So I think it's the decision from themselves.
Okay.
If they see that there is a need for more time for umuganda, they can choose. They can decide. They can decide that every Saturday we want our special umuganda.
But what if they said, let's do it with our parents? Because I don't think there's any.
Yes, they don't. I think this umuganda done by their parents is not excluded. Umuganda for all people includes youth. Exactly. They include youth. They don't exclude youth, but youth themselves decided to have their special umuganda themselves without adults.
Don't you think then that took away energy that was in the other umuganda?
I think when they decide to change it, they can change it because it's their own decisions.
Well,
yes,
that makes sense, and I think what you're trying to talk about is they have to have their own way of relating to one another, and they need to have a way to sit down as young people and talk about issues that maybe parents they may not relate to, and therefore they can also participate. Which makes sense. Absolutely right.
Yes.
And I don't think this is the only way that actually youth engage, and I also know for sure that this is not the only way that youth talk. Like there's more activities, and that's why I'm going to the program coordinator and youth empowerment. How do you actually empower youth? Talk about empowerment. What is actually youth empowerment? I have seen this in big letters, so I need to really get a clear picture of what it is.
Are we done with this special?
Yes, we are.
We are done.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go to empowerment. You empowered in two ways. Skills. Let's go to mindset. The way we think, the way we react. Skills.
Psychological.
Yes, psychological.
Or mentally.
Yeah, mentally. Yeah, that's the right word to use. And second, we go now to a tangible thing. Assets. It can be financially, it can be other assets. So you're empowered when you have these two.
Okay.
So what we do, we consider both.
Okay.
One, with skills and or mentor. I don't know if mentor is the right word to use, but once you go to skills, we have to empower them by providing trainings. And two, once you go to the other way of empowering, that's what I told you before. Now we try to find a way of access to finance, and this is the main issue, you know. As once you have skills, you have developed some project, you develop some businesses plan, but you don't have access to finance, you to be stuck, then you want to work. So what you do, you consider both. Training, then we assist you, help you, guide you in ways that you can access to finance, as long as you're equipped with skills, with knowledge that will be applied. Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, so you're talking about capacity building.
Capacity building, right?
You're talking about capacity building when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to finances, when it comes to everything, assets, and actually that is the growth of the society.
Sure.
And we're talking about youth empowerment. And I think there's a misunderstanding about this whole thing of youth empowerment. You know, there's one thing to empower a person, it's another thing to actually like put a person in a position. You know, like there's me helping you fishing or teaching someone to fish.
Yeah.
Giving someone a fish or teaching someone how to fish. With this metaphor that I'm just using,
Yeah.
how
it's
is
right.
this? How does youth empowerment and capacity building look like?
It looks like teaching someone to fish.
Okay, and they explain more.
Now, what if now you know how to fish, but there is no lake?
The good question, and maybe that's actually for him. What if we know how to actually fish?
And no
There's no
fish.
lake,
Maybe
and
you
there's
have
no
lake,
fish,
but no
we
fish.
know how to do this. So what do you do in that case?
That's now we go now to access to.
And then maybe Honorable can help us. What do you do in that case when you actually don't have a lake? There's no lake, there's no fish, but you know how to fish. You're in desert.
So
What happens?
for me, instead of giving young people fish, you teach them how to
Do we
fish.
have a lake?
So I think the lake, we have the lake because the lake represents the opportunities we have. So in Rwanda, young people have different opportunities. So when we talk about youth empowerment, we empower young people to use or to use these different opportunities and to become more profitable, more developed using these different opportunities. For example, young people needs to develop economically, socially, culturally, different domain of the life of young people needs these different opportunities. When we talk about economic empowerment, we have different opportunities which representing lake economically. So economic opportunities we have in each district, the 5 opportunities in each district. So young people empowerment needs to prepare young people to use these different opportunities in each district. Politically, we have different opportunities. For example, we have National Youth Council. National Youth Council, which represents young people in different decision making, such as sector councils, district councils, and the parliament. These are different opportunities, which is like a lake. It's a lake. So lake represents different opportunities economically, politically, and so on and so forth.
And Benoit, and I think you're the one who actually is a youth coordinator, the youth empowerment coordinator, and you actually do create programs, which means that you're actually in the process of creating fishes. Yeah?
Sure.
So how do we go about this? How do you get now? You have a lake, you have fishes now, and jobs can be those kind of fish. And how does your program actually help youth to actually get engaged more? Because I think when you're talking about civic engagement, it's not just the growth of the country itself. Because the growth of the country, I think, depends on the growth of the people. So if the growth of the people is there, which means economically, socially, and politically, which then leads to actually good health and good understanding and good life. And good life means people that actually can earn something. So how do you get there with your programs that you create?
Oh, thanks. The program, as I said before, they're in two ways. They want to teach them how to fish. The second now is to show that now provide this and now they can start fishing. When you teach someone to fish or just this awareness or what we do, we show them the opportunities. Some they don't know that there are opportunities. And some they have some good initiatives. They have dreams. But dreams, you find that most of young people include just young people. They have dreams, but those dreams that come so fast and then they go. You know, dreams, but once you are discouraged, you stop right there. So we encourage them, we show them ways in different programs, and then that would be programs now to provide them fish. Now with this access to finance, we guide them, you prepare project, you have a business plan, we tell you, we guide you where you can put it and get access to have access to finance. We work with banks, we work with BDF. BDF is now, it becomes now a name known by every Rwandan. So once they are aware and they know where they can find these fishes, that would be easy for them.
And I think, you know, once they are aware, and you're talking about communication in this case, once they are aware, and my question comes to you, Honorable, again, when you're talking about communication, how do you get these youth to understand the opportunities that they have? And maybe this can be for Honorable. How do you get these young people to actually know what is going on and what you have for them? Which kind of a platform do you use to communicate to young people about the engagement?
Thank you. Young people have different opportunities, and some people don't know these different opportunities, so that we need different channels, we need the way we communicate these different opportunities. So different opportunities are communicated through different channels, and especially we have National Youth Council representatives from the cell level to the national level. These different channels, National Youth Council institutions or representatives have their mission to communicate to the young people different opportunities. And then we have different dialogues on the media, on the radio, and on social media. Young people use social media, and we have different meetings. We have different meetings. Our leaders, when they meet the young people in different institutions, in the local government, they talk about these different opportunities when they meet young people. But I think we need more effort. We need more effort to communicate these different opportunities that young people have in this country. We need more opportunities. We need more help from different people, from political leaders, from these representatives, from NGOs. We need their support in order to let young people know different opportunities, and in order to meet the mission of the young people, the mission of youth policy, happy generation. We should make effort in order to have young people more healthy. Young people should be healthy, should have more positive attitude. Young people should be productive. Young people should be productive. Young people should be more innovative. So we need the appropriate communication of the young people. So it's a responsibility of us, of each other. It's a responsibility from every Rwandan, but even young people, they have their own responsibility to look, to search different opportunities. The information tools, the information device are everywhere. So young people should use this ICT opportunity we have to search different opportunities and to create the to know how to use different opportunities. So they can use ICT in developing or in searching their opportunities in order to develop themselves.
And I think we were getting the idea of how young people are communicated to, and we're talking about how what are the channels that young people actually get to participate, and Google Hangout is part of that, even their platform inside, where we sit together and talk about all of these things by also involving, and that's why at this time I would like to invite Huye site for you guys to actually ask questions, and those ones that you actually have should be coming right now. If you have a question, please let us know. Huye, are you there?
Thank you. So, as my ideas is not a questions, as the youth, you have said that we have different opportunities to improve our own life, our daily life and activities. So, you have said there are opportunities, politics, and economics. So, I encourage all youths to do so, to participate, to use the opportunities. You have said that as the social medias, ICTs, you can use it as to improve your own and different opportunities you have said before. So as my idea is to encourage all youth so to use those different opportunities you have said. Thank you.
And what was your name again?
Sorry?
What is your name?
Yeah, I'm called Sempris.
Say?
Sempris.
That one is hard to say. What is the other name?
Simpris.
Cyprus, wonderful. So Cyprus, thank you very much. And I think you talk about something very important. And maybe we can even just talk about it for a second here. How has technology improved actually engagement in young people? I know Hangout is here. Let's not talk about Hangout right now. How does technology actually help us as young people to actually be involved? And how did this help even your programs? And how is this even working for my ICT and National Youth Council and everyone who's involved in youth work?
Thank you. ICT and engagement, they are close, hand to hand. And how, that's what the question, right? So, you know,
how has this helped us to be more engaged? Have we taken advantage of ICT, or are we just there waiting for ICT to take advantage of us?
Yeah, that will be a problem if the ICT is taking advantage of us. So we are using, you know, ICT, information communication technology. First of all, it helps us exchanging ideas from wherever we are. That's number one, exchanging ideas and know what to do.
But Benoit, my question is not how does ICT work, because the idea is that it's understood, because we're even using right now.
Sure.
What are the platforms that you have put in place that help young people? And if there isn't, then these guys will be the ones to do it. So if there isn't, it's okay. But do we have platforms that we may not be aware of that are supposed to help young people engage that are not using?
Okay. One, you can even take the Ministry of Youth and ICT. Now you can imagine, for other countries you find they have youth, sport and culture. Now why, as we have youth and ICT, you can even ask yourself why. We know that youth is the strength of the country, not only but we don't considering statistics, but this is a future generation of the country. So, and we know that all powerful countries, they are relied on technology. So we want that youth and ICT, they can be close, work every day together. So platform, as you said, for youth to be engaged using ICT, the project that we're developing, we don't exclude the ICT. They can be economic and wherever, but economy or other skills to accounting or wherever, they come to count what we have. So we want that this ICT can be, the country can be rely on ICT in terms of development. That's why we take whatever we consider to go youth and ICT. We don't separate them. So once you go to program one by one, this maybe it could be better if you bring someone from ICT. But we have different projects that connect youth and ICT that go day to day.
And I think he's even talking about social media, and maybe
social media.
You understand this as well, because you work with youth every day, and I don't think there's any way that you can, sometimes we actually find that some of them are distracted by social media. You can't actually get hold of us because of WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, every single thing that is going on in social media. So how do you get to communicate with these people even using this platform? Maybe Honorable can.
First of all, I want to mention this point and how ICT improves lives of young people. For me, ICT creates the more jobs. For instance, when we talk about mobile phone penetration, it means that even in a rural area, mobile phones are penetrated, which create the more jobs in mobile money. Everywhere you can see young people have businesses of mobile money, and I think we have more young people who create jobs by software, by creating their own software, creating new software, creating websites. These are new jobs created by ICT, especially young people.
And I think
yes,
yeah. This is really good because
yeah,
it helps in job creation.
Yes.
But I am wondering if these people are engaged in ICT, it means that as the parliament or as the member of parliament or as the National Youth Council should also have platforms that are ICT related that help these people, like a platform that is technological based, that is going to help these people engage with them. And maybe we can go back to Huye again and talk to them. Huye, if you're there, the question that we're still talking about is how do we get young people to get involved in this civic engagement? How do we get them to actually be engaged civically? And we are going back to you. We are going back to you, and we want to know what you think. If it's a question, if it's an idea, do not hesitate to share with us. Because we're here because of you.
Yes. My name is John Baptiste Indatkobazi from Huye. Beside that issue of ICT, may I have a question about the culture of Rwanda. My question is, I ask it, Mr. Honorable, how can we improve our lives or develop our future basing on our culture? What is the fact that can engage us to develop ourselves basing on our culture? Thank you.
I think that's for you, Honorable.
Thank you, John Baptiste, if I get well. John Baptiste, you have good points. this development of ICT goes with the cultural barriers. So young people, we have culture, or we have Rwandan culture, and then we have development of ICT. And then both must be together. Development of ICT and then the development of culture. So for me, as young people, we should focus on ICT, and then we pull out in this ICT the necessary of our development. It means that in Rwandan culture we have the key element, we have different points, we have the wisdom of our elders, which we can build on our development. It means that as young people we can use or we shall use this ICT in positive manners. In ICT we can look for which is important for our development, and we should ignore which is not important for our development. So this is my point. Young people, I think you should develop, you should use ICT development, but use ICT development in positive manners, in positive programs, instead of using ICT in crimes or in cyber crimes. So I think for me, Rwandan culture is positive. If Rwandan culture is positive, we should stand on that positive Rwandan culture, and then we use ICT in positive programs, in positive development activities, ignoring the negative attitude which brought out by the ICT.
And I think this is a very good point, because you're actually talking about choosing. And again, this leads us to actually, again, going back to who we are. These are young people, and we are all young people, and we are represented by you in the parliament. And we have questions, and I want to make sure the young people from Huye actually get a chance to ask questions. And if there's another person who wants to ask a question, please do ask a question. Just 1 second.
Thank you. My name is Nyongura Adolf, and I will be saying I will be back soon about what you say about special Muganda. You say that it is the case that happened in our country, or our country, but many times in our areas, we don't see the case of special Muganda, so that we can even engage in government issues. I also want to ask a question about about ICT. Many young peoples, about what as you are saying, they're still at schools, and the others won't have some activities that they do. And I want to ask you, as our representative in Parliament, what do you do to empower youth in the ICT, or so that you can allow youth to be able to have a machine or other communication access when they are at school or their other areas? Or, as you know, even in our countries or in the district, many times I will be basing on how we get the opportunities to improve our knowledge, or the opportunity we have in order to engage in government policies. Thanks.
I think you can take on that one, Benoit, and then maybe the Honorable, sorry.
Okay, thank you. Our colleague asks how to empower young people in ICT, and especially in schools. Most of young people are students in primary, secondary, even in higher learning institutions. So I think there are different programs of empowering young people in ICT. First of all, we have in all of schools from secondary, they have computer science in their curricula. So computer science helps young people to know each other, to know the ICT. But I think the main problem, the problem which has that program is that in especially in the rural area, they don't have infrastructure, especially electricity, so that young people can have computers in their schools. So this is a serious problem, but this problem is known by the government. It's a challenge. It's a challenge, but the government already have program to answer this question, so that in 2017, at least 70% for young population has electricity. In every public institution, including schools, in every schools, they have electricity and they have computers. Especially, we have another program, one laptop per child. One program per child helps young people, especially students from primary schools, to know, to study ICT at early age. I think this is the development, but the program is going on, and there is a will, a political will, of empowering young people in ICT. So we have different various opportunities to improve knowledge of young people. Especially, we have at least at the district we have BDA. We have BDA. In BDA constructions, there are facilities of ICT. I think we have also young friendly centers, youth friendly centers. In youth friendly centers, they have different components. They have different services. One of services includes ICT penetration, ICT literacy. They help young people to study ICT. They help young people, especially in rural area, to use this ICT equipment to know ICT. I think there is a political will in different countries, in all of country, in rural area, that in each schools they have electricity in order to facilitate young people to know, to study ICT, to study computer science.
And I think you're raising a very important thing, and you're talking about something really important, which is that there is a will for the government to actually improve the lives of people, which is ultimately and also fundamentally the idea of why the government exists in the first place, which is to improve people's lives. And with that, you cannot deny education, which then brings innovation, which cannot deny technology as part of that. And we are coming closer to this, to the end of our actually time in the Hangout today. And before we actually close, I'm going to ask just a little bit of, maybe an evaluation. Where do you think youth are in terms of engagement, in civic engagement, and where do you think they should be? Like, where are we today, and where should we be? Just as we're coming close. And I'm going to start with you, Benoit, and then we'll close with you, Honorable.
Thank you. Youth are engaged. We came to different statistics saying the way they are engaged from cell level to national level, just politically. And what you want from them, we want them to be, for youth, what we need money. So first of all, we want to survive financially and support ourselves. There is a problem of unemployment. They say this, maybe they didn't raise the problem, but it exists. Unemployment. So the message that I want to give and what we really need from them is that they should focus and try to be innovative. I remember one of one of the people from Huye said, how can we make money from our culture? How can we develop ourselves from the culture? So he knows that there is potential in culture, but he doesn't know the way we can make money from the culture. So how? So these questions of how sometimes help, because when you ask yourself how, the result will be an innovative idea that you'll bring. So for youth, they should have this innovative idea of asking how, but they have to be also focused. Let me try to answer the question for how can we make money from culture. Would be just I understand. Culture is what makes us special because it's different from others, from other countries, and this either artistic or anyhow, it makes us special. So this can be traded. You can use those songs and you can develop them using ICT, because ICT will help you to trade and distribute using different ways, but you will be known by different countries, different people. So what we want you to be job creators, and we're there to assist, because if you create a job, you find a way now to implement this job, so we can guide you. So be always thinking on the way you can create a job rather than seeking for a job. And that's where we want to be and where we want to go.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And again, involvement and engagement of youth in civic work. And you are the member of the parliament representing us in the parliament. Where are we? Where is the youth? And where do you think youth should be? And this is what is bringing us to the close of this conversation.
Thank you. Where we are is the present is very bright. And I thank all of the young people who is involving in development of our country, and we have young people who is involved who are involving in the leadership of this country. We have young people who are involving in cooperatives. They created cooperatives. They created their own businesses. They created their companies. So where we are is very bright, but we want young people to shift from the mentality of job seeking to the job creating.
Yeah.
This is the main element which remains in our young people, shifting from job seeking and to the job creating. This needs more activities. This needs more engagement. This needs more resilience of young people. So we have good governance in our country. The good governance which help young people to develop themselves. Good governance which put on different opportunities of young people. So for young people, we should use these different opportunities in order to develop ourselves. We have our president, His Excellency Paul Kagame. He's good leaders. Young people, they want him to continue even after 2017. So they wrote to the parliament, and the parliament is treating their request. I think which remains for young people is to change this mindset in order to develop ourselves. And I think I want to thank all of our partners, especially different ministries, different NGOs, different youth organizations who try to help our young people to have more life, more lives, more better lives than today. So thank you for all who listen to us, and thank you for our discussion. thank you for this Hangout organizations, and I think we shall meet another time. Thank you.
And this is the close of our Hangout today. I hope you had fun. I hope you were able to listen and learn and ask questions. Of course, an hour is really, really short that we can't get every question from every person, but the close of the conversation is shifting from job seeking to job creating, which is not easy, but at the same time, it is the best way to actually engage and start and be more civic and develop our country, for the better future. And I would just say that young people are not just for the future, they are for the present. And then you should go for the present and also remain for the future. And thank you very much for my ICT, and thank you for National Youth Council, and thank you for making time to come and talk with us, and I hope you had fun. And I will see you next time. My name is Amos Furaha, and I will see you in a Google Hangout next time. Thank you very much for your site as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.